Shalom, all praises Yahweh Bar Hashem Yahweh Shai, double honors unto the elders, GMS, and honors out to the brothers on the four corners of the earth, doing this work in sincerity and truth. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Okay, this is a video on the FIFA World Cup in Brazil, 2014. This was meant to be a quick video, but the Spirit had me find more information. It might take longer than I expected and try and run through it as quick as possible. This is the image of the stadium that they've been rushing to build. It's no different from the ancient Roman Colosseum, because they did exactly pretty much the same things in there, which I'm about to read about. This is the Colosseum, Wikipedia. Colosseum or Colosseum, also known as the Flavian Amphitheater. When you look up the word amphitheater, it tells you exactly what they did in the Colosseum. An amphitheater is an open-air venue used for entertainment, performances, and sports. Excuse me. So that's what they do in the stadium or arena, or another word, Colosseum. Now, what they also have in London, this is an earlier picture of the Westminster Colosseum. And what they did in there was exactly the same thing, which was performances, orchestrals, so forth. Here's a more modern picture. And that picture is of the Colosseum in London, St. Martin's Lane, Westminster. Okay, and let's look up the word theatre. Online etymology dictionary. Open air place in ancient times for viewing spectacles and plays. So it basically just gives the people something to look at, something to take the hard-lining issues of life out of their thoughts. Because a lot of people, they're too occupied in their jobs, families, and they find it's more easier for them to consider to watch folly or an act or play or something to watch, rather than go on the streets and protest. So what the government gives them is, people like to use this term, which is bread and circuses, which describes exactly what I just said. This is a Blue Letter Bible. It's good for looking up words and understanding the roots of words, and easy to access different scriptures. Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Now, pretty much self-explanatory, but I'm going to go into two different words. First, we're going to start off with possessors. Possessors: to get, acquire, create, buy, possess. Okay. We're going to look at the word slay. To kill, slay, murder, destroy. Murderer, slayer, out of hand. Okay. So when it says whose possessors, you could say whose buyers destroy them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. Because it's their time to rule. They've been given slaves, And even though they kill these slaves, they believe that they ain't got to pay for that debt, that blood debt. But the Bible tells you differently that their I can't remember the scripture, but it tells you about his his blood will be um, required by the people that he sheds blood. I'll probably put the correct scripture up in post production. I'm going to move on to this document. So basically, going back into what I was saying about the people who buy our people and slay them, I'm going to read this document here, which is entitled "Brazil in a Mad Dash to Prepare for World Cup and More Protests." And you can see the tires burning because the people are mad right now. Why? Because the so-called white man finds it easy to find billions and billions of whatever the currency they're using, dollars or whatever, to hold a state or stage a World Cup. And at the end of the day, these people have been poor for a very long time. Yet the government didn't want to give them any money to build their infrastructure in the past. But all of a sudden, their infrastructure is being altered. Their houses are being broken down. Anyway, I'll read this document here, where it says, "The death of two workers at the Arena Corinthians Stadium site in Sao Paulo, scene of the tournament's opening ceremony on June 12th, also raised concerns about worker safety. In total, 9 workers have died." So there you go, man. Esau don't care. Did the so-called white man, when he was, or these elites, were they concerned with the people who died? No. They even still, to this day, they're past their deadlines for having the tram line and other things complete. Yet still, they ain't even completed it, man. But they're exhausting their slaves or their employees to get this done, just so that at the end of it they can say, "Ah, look, I made all this money, and I leave the people with the debt to pick up afterwards, or the toll." You know, and that's the MO of the so-called white man: reaping that which he, or stealing that which he never sowed. Okay, this is from the Guardian. Rio World Cup demolitions leave favela families trapped in ghost town. Homes are being torn down and pests and squatters are taking over the rubble of favela do Metro, but hundreds of families remain with nowhere else to go. That's why the Bible tells you, "Trust not thine enemy," right? In the Apocrypha, "As iron rusteth, so do the enemy," right? So you can't trust the so-called white man for shit, man. He says he's coming to bring so-called peace to you, and what does he do? He brings war to you. He destroys you, and he holds himself not guilty. This is the WashingtonPost.com. Brazilian cities hosting World Cup matches. Protests against the World Cup erupted in Sao Paulo. In Rio de Janeiro, demonstrators are demanding the government focus its spending on services instead of global sporting event. Right, man. Like I said, he ain't concerned with the people. He's concerned with his pocket and his interests and his taxes. Because if you watch this program, which is on the BBC iPlayer, Welcome to Rio, there's a lot of places where a lot of people were getting murdered for a long time, like the people in the program say, and no one didn't want to do nothing. And all of a sudden now, they've civilized or pacified those areas for the World Cup, showing you this so-called white man is the devil, man. But what he teaches in his education system, and what everyone walks around saying is one love, love everybody. And the so-called white man don't love you, man. Evidently so. So this shows you the coming of the times we're in, man. Definitely. Because of the people are being left homeless and people are getting frustrated at seeing the Esau's skirt being lifted, that he's the damn devil, man. And everyone can see it around the whole world. And now it's the Brazilians' turn. Brazil, this is a mail online. Brazil World Cup could be chaos as social unrest threatens to overshadow the football. Protests and social unrest in Brazil set to threaten the World Cup. Many people unhappy over cost of staging the tournament. Brazil players such as Neymar under huge pressure to deliver. Many convinced that success for the home nation will calm tensions. Well, that's what Esau's hoping for, but you don't know what might happen, man. People could just run across the pitch and just put one of the players to death, man. You just don't know what can happen. Esau might stage it because we're in the end times. Anything can happen. Read this scripture, Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now let's look at the word iniquity. The condition of without law, because ignorant of it. Contempt and violation of the law, iniquity, wickedness. Now if we go into the root word, it says destitute of the Mosaic law. Destitute. Departing from the law, a violator of the law, lawless, wicked, of the Gentiles, or the strangers, or the foreigners, being totally gone, totally. See how they can use the word Gentiles of the nations, right? Because you're just fully gone away from your customs so much that you're just basically a heathen now. Okay, the so-called white man, he's the devil, and what he does, he basically he don't teach the people to keep none of the laws of the Bible. So every practice of the public, they're just hella gone, man. They don't keep none of the laws either, man. They follow Esau's laws, but even Esau's laws are ain't even being kept. So let's look at the word abound. To increase, to multiply. So let's look at the word love. It says affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love. See that? Brotherly love. So let's go one up in that, in the root word. Of persons, to welcome, to entertain, to be fond of, to love dearly. So even that threshold where you just entertain or, you give that that common respect or respect for persons, as the Bible tells you, respect for persons is not good. But because that law has been removed, there is no respect because it's wickedness. So now we go back, and because the people become destitute of the Mosaic law and multiply in wickedness, the love or the brotherhood or the entertainment of such kindness of many shall wax cold. And that's clearly what's happening, man, over the period of this Brazilian World Cup entertainment. BBC News, Latin America, which this is all over, all kind of world news. Latin America and Caribbean, Brazil unrest, million join protests in 100 cities. More than 1 million people are reported to have taken part in protests in about 100 cities across Brazil, the latest in a wave of demonstrations. So that shows you how much civil unrest there is. And that's just reportedly. People are seeing what's going on, and all they want to do is all they want is this so-called white man to go down without even knowing it, man. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Now we look up the word sedition. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions. So there you go, man. These people hate the authorities, okay? And they're not having Esau take the piss anymore. And the poor people are getting it the worst, and they're the people that can't afford to join in and are more angry about what's happening to their rebellers, what's going to happen afterwards. They have to pick up the debt, and they're sick of this so-called white man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. Hope it helped you to understand the scriptures and the times we're coming in. And these are the type of things you're going to see over the period of the end, which we're in that end time. Shalom.